Someone may think from my last video, the eye of the needle, that it's all gloom and doom, and it's not. Sometimes I just have to let it impact me so that I remember not to touch it, not to be a part of it. Throughout my journey, for example, when I first awakened and healing was coming out of me, understanding, foreknowing, just a constant state of good things happening. I got a sense of being an older woman living up on a hill surrounded by trees, just a very small group of people around me, and others coming out of what was predominant society, increasingly everything coming out of it looking the same. The artwork was the example. It was the same style of artwork, and people escaping it, ending up where I was. And after that, I was, sent out, and I was shown, going into the belly of the dragon, into, the wilderness, so to speak. And I was given the sense of, I don't know, I'm dating myself. My kids used to watch the movie series about the little dinosaur, Littlefoot, and his mother told him about the Great Valley, and so he's looking for his Great Valley. And I got a sense of there will always be a Great Valley out there to shelter the gentle people. And most recently, I was listening to the different arguments whether or not there's going to be a rapture. And I got a sense of being on a piece of land that lifts up to become a mountain, while the land sinks out and gets flooded under other people's feet. And these islands eventually, I'm going to be a more peaceful, I'm going to go right into nurturing the earth, saying good loving things to the plant life, the animals, and just be like I do. We had a muskrat come through, and I'm just like, I just want to get a closer look at, you have such a beautiful, healthy fur coat. Oh, wow, what an adorable little animal you are. The last time I heard anything about a muskrat was at a truck stop years and years ago. And this truck driver was like screaming because a muskrat had come out of the ditch and was attacking it. And, everybody telling me what ferocious, vicious, animals these are. And like, here I am, with my little dog on her string. I just want to get a closer look at you. And I'm standing over it. And it's just the most beautiful. And it didn't look concerned. It just looked at me like, okay, did you get your look? I'm going to keep going. But we're talking about Great Valleys, and maybe other people have lived a more intense experience. And where I was before, people are like, it's rattlesnake season, the snakes are coming out, beware, the scorpions, blah, 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 blah. Let me get a better look at you. Are you a poisonous one? Are you... Somebody comes with a scorpion in a jar, and it's on a stick in there, and I'm like, I reach for the stick and then pull it out and get a better look at it. Oh, you crazy, you crazy. So a sense of the difference between my little mountaintop and somebody else who maybe has a little bit more healing and trust to learn than, land bridges coming up out of the waters to connect them when they've learned that trust. And it comes across my newsfeed. There's an island popping up out of the ocean. They're calling it some kind of pyramid or something, and it rises up this mountain. So much. It's just coming up so fast. And of course, all the governments want to claim it. New land, new resources. The point of this is there will always be a place. I come from experiences being told and shared of somebody being imprisoned for their faith. And I'm talking about, within the last 100 years. We hear about this in the Bible, but we still hear about it today. The one person imprisoned for their faith, and some disaster happens, the entire jail just collapses, everything but their cell, the 4 walls, 3.5, because there's a way for them to get out. The doors suddenly open or not there. All the walls of their cell are still standing. They're protected. We got to make it through the eye of that needle. The eye of that needle is going to be physically preserved for us, no matter what. So, do I live in panic all day, every day? No, I do not. I just keep in mind that if I don't walk in faith and trust, I'm going to end up just food for the spiritual vultures, feeding off of the dust that we were made out of. And of course, that's not literal physical dust, it's the energy of the dust. And that's why the fracturing, all the mechanisms for the fracturing and the breaking up of that energy that we are made of is so that they could consume it. But enough about that. I like to reflect on. I always just wanted to be that old lady in the woods. I think, The Cold Mountain, the movie The Cold Mountain. The old lady, he's coming back from war, and he's leaving. He's a deserter, so he's got to do it, hiding, and he gets shot or something, and he comes across the old lady in the woods with the goats, and she's in an old gypsy type trailer. I'm like, that's so much how I want to be. I want to know how to live like that. I know some wild edibles, but I would surely, if I had to depend on myself and my knowledge and skills, I would starve to death in the woods through the winter. I know that. But I know enough, I could get some nibbles along the way. But I just always wanted to be, that old lady. Understanding, having an intimate relationship with people that would be the wilderness for them. For me, that's comfortable living. So, I'm not all gloom and doom all the time. I just get enough of it to go, oh, I do not want to be like that. And it's funny because when you're doing things and you're motivated by love, by a sense of community and being of good to your community, you keep everybody else second guessing, because most people will assume what they're going to do, how they're going to make their choices, why they would make a certain choice or a certain choice would be made, what they expect people to do. They're going left or right. And then somebody comes in and they're listening to the balance, the wholeness. It's not left and it's not right. And they don't know what to expect from that. So you throw them off in a good way, but in a way that makes them uncomfortable because it's unfamiliar. And they don't know how to second guess you because they can't imagine coming from the state of mind that we do. So that's how we're able to, coffee's ready, how we are able to be out of their sight, because they're looking here and here how they would do it. You know, when they're looking for somebody hiding, we're just walking boldly because we haven't got a clue why we should be hiding. And other times everything is set up where they would think somebody's gonna feel safe here, and we're like skirting it, like, right. So they're looking at where the opening that they made for us so they could trap us. We're all like, ooh, something not right there. And we're sneaking around with, they're just not watching. It's just the two different paradigms of thinking, observing, and choosing. So our Green Valley, our mountain top, our little nook in the forest is just naturally not going to be anywhere they're going to focus on. Plus, of course, we'll have angelic protection because, I mean, I came out of sleep once, and as I mentioned before, I was a very intuitive, psychic person that was keeping track of me. And I woke up one morning and it was like I had two flaming swords and I was like ready to face something. And they would be on their computer. At the time it was Yahoo Messenger. My routine was I'd wake up with insight every morning. I would put it in my blog before I did anything, and then I would open up to communication from other people. And he'd be, you know, as soon as I woke up, the messages would start coming. I know you're awake. I know you're there. I can feel you. I know you're awake. And I'm ignoring that stuff. I've got understandings coming through. I got to share. I got to put this down so that they can be present in my conscious mind, because it's not, you know, I have to receive the package and then I've got to organize it and convey it so other people can understand it and I can make sense of it, because I have a Western, you know, right brain mind function, and there has to be time, there has to be, you know, an organization how this would happen. Like other countries, everything's got a masculine or feminine. Lacoste, lay, cafe, you know what I mean? Lay and law. In Spanish, it's el caso or whatever. There's just different ways of thinking. Like somebody else would say, oh, the house white. So you're looking for a house that's white. Here we say the white house. We're looking for white. That's a house. It's very different. Very different. Because we can get lost in a whole lot of white. Especially with all the white houses we got in some of the places around here. So that's what I would be doing. And so things just come different we prioritize different. That person also got very mad because they tried to visit me in the dream state, and apparently I was like this beautiful woman in a crystal, enclosed in a crystal, and they tried to approach, and my response was, you get enough of my time and attention while I'm awake. I ain't got time for you now. I'm busy. World's leading psychic being told I ain't got time for you. Oh, yeah. That's probably a big reason why he didn't want to fulfill that soul contract with the one that I was supposed to be embodying for this lifetime. She shut him down. You ain't so big, bro. So, yes. Mountaintops, nooks and woodlands, great valleys. And for some people, that'll even be out in the desert. They got their earthship homes, and they got everything just perfectly set up. I've seen, people, their toilet flushes, and it goes down a system, and it separates solid waste from liquid, and then because it's in a greenhouse, it dries that solid waste up like that, and it becomes powdery, and the next, bit of water just, it dissolves it, and it goes and fertilizes the garden, and they got it all hooked up, catching rainwater and stuff. Nobody's out there monitoring them, In too many places, it's illegal to catch rainwater now. That's been happening for a long time. But it's cool to see state governments, the geoengineering, trying to make laws against that, and laws against the immunizations in the lettuce. I love my lettuce. The romaine and the green leafy, and just the rich nutrients and the hydration you're supposed to be getting from it. And they're injecting it. But yes, hopefully someplace where the works of my hands will be blessed in the seeds that I plant. Literal seeds, as well as people seeds too. But yes, I'm not all negative. Yeah, I don't want to use somebody's name. They would normally say negative Nancy, but not all Nancys are negative. I'd imagine there's some nice ones, positive ones out there. So yes, we will be kept safe. It'll be okay. It'll be all right.